We'll start in a minute. We have one more Savita yet to join. She'll be joining in a minute. So. Yeah, hi.
Hi, Andy.
Okay, Savita, you were not there, right? For the last two classes, I think, without an issue.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't have any update from you
Yeah,
and
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe Balu. So I'll just add your number to the group which I have created so that you'll get
okay.
updates in that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
no problem. Okay. Uh, I mean, I'll send you the. I have sent one recording video the day before one. So yesterday's one I'll send you
Yeah,
so that
just I saw that.
sure. And yeah, even for today's, yeah, that should be fine. So we had discussed yesterday like how the I mean if else conditions we declare and how do we use those in Java. And apart from that, we discussed some loop, the for loop, uh, how the for loop works in Java. Okay, and today we'll discuss something like while loop, how this while loop looks like and why we use this while loop. I mean, it is the same as for, but just yeah, just a different syntax and different way of handling. I mean, as the name says, right? While it's like, I mean, it is the same. While condition will give the condition here, while the condition meets, so it will keep on loop this while loop. Okay, and if the condition fails, here whatever you write inside this while block. Okay, so just give an example. Int I equal to 1. I'm declaring. So if I say here while I less than 10 and print I value. Okay, I think it got stuck. I don't know why. Okay. So so here I equal to 1, right? I less than 10. Yes, I less than 10. It will print the value, I value. And again, the I value will be the same one. We are not incrementing anything here. So if you just execute this, and this will run forever because it's always I less than equal to 10. So if I say I plus plus here, then the I value will get incremented and it will print 1 to 10. I mean 1 to 9 basically. 10 is not less than 10, right? So yeah, 1 to 9. And yeah. So likewise for loop, so we have the while loop as well. Okay. So the syntax of for loop and while loop will be little different. For loop you will declare inside the in the block and you put the condition there and you also do the increment in the same condition for loop. But whereas in while, so you have, I mean, you declare separately and you only the condition you put inside that while loop and you increment in the while loop. Okay, so so this is how the while loop looks like, and this is the syntax of while loop. Okay, and so there is something called do while. Okay, so let me just put it here, do while. So what this do while will do, so the syntax of do while will be like this. Okay, so what will happen here in the sense, so I mean there are times where you need to execute the block of code only once, and for the from the next time it has to uh, look for a condition and then loop from the next time. So in that cases we use do while. So what happens is that even if the condition meets or not, so it will execute only once. So do, I mean execute this block, then it will check for the condition while I less than equal to 10. Okay, suppose I have 10 here. Okay, I have I'm just declaring I variable with the 10 value, initializing the value 10. So what will happen in the normal while loop, it will check the condition 10 less than equal to 10, no, so it will not print this one I value into do while. But whereas in do while, so what happens, it will not check for the condition, right? So it will just print the I value, I mean it will execute this block, then it will check for the condition. So if I run this particular block of code, so so it is not printing the I value because it checked for the condition, so it does not meet, it will not go inside. But so but whereas in do while, it execute only once and then it will check for the condition. Yes, condition is false, right? So it will not. So if you see the console, it is printed only the I value in do while, I mean this one got printed, right? So this is how the while and do while looks like. So these are the condition. I mean basically most of the your daily work you use if else statements and for loop and while loop. So these are the three. I mean while also you'll use very rare, but mostly if else and for loop will be using um, most of your automation scripts on every day. Okay. But we'll see in the actual classes, I mean while doing the automation, how you are using if and for. But this is how the syntax looks like, and this is the functionality of if else for and while loop. Okay, I mean you don't need to know the actual use of these all right now, but you have to know the what is if loop and for loop, the syntax and while loops, that's all. Okay, so as far as, I mean as long as you know those things, and you should be good for now. Okay, so any questions here, otherwise we'll go to other statements. Okay, so I'll keep this framework here like this, and I'll share with you at the end of the course, so that you will have if and for loop syntaxes and how it looks like, so you can refer it, and maybe in the same way while loop. And now let me create another class which is like collections. Okay, this collections is very important concepts in Java, and even the collections you will be using every day. Okay, there are some concepts called collections in Java. So what is that? Collections means list, okay, and map and set, hash map basically, and tree map. So in your daily routine, you'll be mostly using list and hash map. So those we call as collections, and those are the packages of util Java dot util package. I mean Java.util library. This library will provide the methods of list, set, hash map, and tree map. So what are those and why we need to use this? Okay, suppose I'll write list functionality here. Okay, our list method, some name, public static void list. I just wrote one method here. So I'll call this method in the main loop, main method. Okay, here we'll see how you declare the list. Okay, so the name itself it's saying it list. It is list of values. You can store it. Okay, you can store n number of values in the list, and you can use it wherever it is required. Okay, so I mean you can add, you can store integer variables, you can store string, you can store any other data types. Okay, so any other values inside the list. So how you do list string? Suppose I'm storing a value string type into the list, so I have to declare what is the data type. Then just give some name, li example equal to new array list of string. So since this is part of util, you have to import the package. Okay, so this is the syntax of list. List, what is the data type which you're adding to the list, and just the object name, the variable name, equal to new. New is the operator which is used to create an object for the class. Okay, I'll tell you what is new, why we use this new later, but yeah. And array list of string. So this is how the list syntax, okay, which you should know, and this is the same everywhere. So now this is the reference of that list. I mean, this is the variable, list variable. So you have to add values. List dot, there is a method called add. Suppose you're adding some employee names, employee name 1. Okay, and you can add a number of values, employee name 2, employee name 3, employee name 4. Okay. So these are the 4 values which string values you have added to the list. And how do you print? I mean, the one other thing you have to remember and know here is that list is used to store the values. It can be any values, and the display order of the list is first in first out. Okay, when you're adding the first value, so when you're displaying from the list, it will also, I mean, give you the first value as employee 1, second employee 2, third employee 3, and 4 employee 4. Okay, and you can also add the duplicates to the list. You can add the duplicates to the list. Okay, now I'll print the values from the list. So to print the values from the list, so you have to find out the size of the list and loop, iterate the list. Okay, so here I can use for loop. For int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to li dot size and I plus plus. So what happens here? I'm just declaring one variable as I, which is declaring as, I mean, initializing as 1. Then I less than or equal to li dot size. What is the li dot size here? 5. 1, 2 3 4, I mean 5 values you have added, so it means the length of this is 5 and I plus plus. So I'll print like this: system dot out dot println list values li dot get of I. Okay, let me just run this and you can see the output and we will explain. Okay, so index out of bounds exception, it means that, so why this exception has come, you see. So the list basically, the index of the list will start from 0. Okay, this is the 0th position. This value will be in 0 position. This 1 2 3 4, there are 0 to 4. So this index is 0, this index is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. And what we are saying, we are starting from I equal to 1. So it skipped the 0, right? It skipped the 0 because we are asking list dot get of 1. Get of 1 means one's position. What is that? This one. And we are skipping 0. I mean, if I put I equal to 0, then it will display from the 0th position. So list will always have the position from 0. It is not 1 2 3 4. 0th position 1 2 3 4. So list dot size, so size is 1 2 3 4 5, but this is the position. So I less than or equal to 5, and finally in the last I'm just get of 5 I'm saying. So that is the reason it's giving in the, there are only 4 which are displayed and you're asking get of 5 at the end. So it's saying index out of bounds. I mean, you in the list you have only up to 4 index, but you're asking the value of 5th index, but there is no value. So it throws an error. So what you have to do, you always have to put I equal to 0, and you should not put I less than or equal, I less than size. If you put less than or equal to, then it will throw that exception because the list size will get I mean it will out of bounds basically. So now if I run this one, let me just run this. If I run this, so list dot get of 0, first time it is list dot get of 0. Okay, 0th position we have employee 1, it will display, and 1 2 3 4 until here it should display. Let me just run this. So it displayed in order. So I mean, whatever order you are adding the values in the same order, it will display. Okay, list will display the values in the same order. Okay, so the question which you'll ask in the list is like, what is the order of the list, and why you use list, and what are the I mean, whether list will add allow the duplicates or not. These three questions can be asked in the list. Okay, you can add the, I mean, the display order of the list is first in first out. FIFO they'll say, I mean, first in first out means whatever the value in, and the same value will be displayed while getting the values. I mean, so whatever the values you are inserting order, the same order it will display. So so there are three characteristic of list. List will use to store the variables or values, because list is very important. You should understand what is list, only then yeah, important concept list. And list is used to store the values, can be any data type, and it will allow the duplicates, and the display order is first in first out. So these three characteristics we have in the list. In the same way, I can also put another list where I can put integer, and since the li is already declared here, so it is saying this is the duplicate. So I just have to put li1. I'll put something, just any name, and it's giving error because this li1 is of type integer type, but you're adding string, right? So this will throw you an error 1. So we have to add integer variable here, maybe 5, 3, 2, 7, li1 dot size and li1 dot get of I. Let me just put list values in integers. So if I try to run this, so it print employee 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, it printed, and also it has printed the integer values. Okay. And the another one is like, if you are not sure, sometimes you might need to add string, or sometimes you might need to add integers. You're not sure what you are adding. So in those cases, we have another thing called object. Okay. When we say object, I'll put li2 here. So li2 dot add li2, 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 li2. Li2, what could I find? Let's see what it will say. So, so sometimes you need to add integers and strings in the same list. So in those cases, the type you have to declare as object. So if you say object, it can be any type. You can add any type to this list. You can add integers, you can add strings, you can add double, you can add any kind of variable, any type variable you can add it. Okay. So that mostly that's all we have in the list. So list is used to store the variables. You can store any kind of variable. It will allow the duplicates, and the display order will be first in first out. To display the values from the list, you use for loop, and the index will start from 0. The index of the list will start from 0th index. I mean, the values will be stored in the list from the 0th index. So you always have to say I equal to 0 and I less than size. You cannot say I less than or equal to. If you say equal to, so then it will throw an exception, because the last I mean 0 to 4 it ends. You'll not have the fifth value, right? So it will throw an error. So you always have to use start with 0 and use less than. So this is what you have to remember it. Okay. So any questions you have in the list? Are you good, or are you not cleared? You need to explain one more time, or how do you see that?
I'm good.
Okay, sure. So in the same way, we have something called set. Okay. So let me just write those three. I put here, this is list, right? List will store the values. List will allow duplicates. List will display in first out order. And in the same way, we have something called set. Okay, let me copy the same. Copy the same method and paste the method. This is how you reuse. You don't need to write the code again. You just reuse and you just see what I'm doing. I just copied the entire method and I pasted. Okay, and it will say that the method is duplicated because I copied the same method, right? So I'll just change the name accordingly. Set method. Okay, and what I'll do here, set will store the values. It is the same. Set will not allow duplicates. Set will display in sorting order. So this is the difference between set and list. Set will not allow duplicates. Set will display in sorting order. Whatever you add the values, but while displaying, it will give you in the sorting order. Okay, let me just the same. I'll say set new set. So I have to import change to new import set. Okay, sorry, new. No, I think 1 second. Set set is okay. Okay. I think to display the values from the set, we have to use. I just don't remember the. Where is that? Okay, so in those cases, what you do basically, so I'm not sure the syntax of set, right? How it will display. So how to retrieve or get the values from set in Java. Sorry, in Java. So what it will show you, it will just show you. Let me go here and see. Okay, whatever. Okay, I think we can just display directly the set. Let's see. Sorry, not this one, right? This one. To call that method set method. I'll comment this list method. Let's see. Basically, I think it should throw an error because I'm adding the duplicate values. Let's see what it will give. Okay, set 4321. Okay, I think it will ignore the duplicate values. Even if you try to give the duplicate values in the latest Java, it will ignore it. Okay, so as you see, it is displayed in the descending order. I mean, the default order will be like this: employee 4321. So you have added like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Since this is duplicate value, it removed the one. It ignored basically, and the order. I mean, if I suppose if I give it here 3 and 5, 7, let's see how it will display. It should display in the sorting order. So it will display in 7, 3, 5, 1. Okay, let me just put in this way. Employee name. Okay, let me just put Ramesh, Vinaya, Sailaja, and Savita. See how it will display. Sailaja, Vinaya, Savita, Ramesh. Okay, I'm not sure if I am doing something wrong because it has to display in sorting order. This is not the sorting order. It's just displaying in some zigzag order. Set string li hash drop string. Sailaja, Vinaya, Ramesh. How it is taking in this order? Okay. Okay, I'll come back to you on this. But basically, the set is also used to store the values, and it will not allow duplicates. It will not allow duplicates, and it will display in sorting order. Display the hash set to determine the order of the elements. But it is not displayed in the order of the. Okay. So this is how the set looks like, but I'll come back a little more on tomorrow. But yeah, okay. And in the same way, we have set of integer, set of object. The same way we have like list, we have the same as for set, but that's the difference. And so we have something other collections called hash map. Hash map. Okay, let me just create public static void hash map method. Okay. So what is hash map? Hash map is also to store the values in key value pairs. Key value pairs basically. So I mean you for each value, I mean for each value you'll have a key. Using that key you'll get a value. Okay. Example. Uh, the syntax is like this: map string comma string. Uh, any name a new hash map of string comma string. So the syntax is like this. You have to import the libraries. Okay, syntax is like this. So this is the key basically. This is the key and this is the value. And this is the key, this is the value. And whatever the data types you are giving it here, it has to be the same. Okay, map and hash map basically the same. Map, this is how you declare your map, syntax for the map. And you have method called map dot put of employee name Ramesh. You can also put employee ID. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comma especially. Okay. And department. I think the class will end in a minute, so maybe you can just join it, join back. Department.